Okay, should be recording. I see the file. And isn't this where I stopped the last time? I don't think I've been in the game since I did the stream last. Yeah. It's been a busy week for me. So that's why I'm back in this instead of in Satisfactory here instead of being in Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. And the week, yeah, literally the week was like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty chill and there's nothing too busy going on. And then yesterday I got a review key, and yes, I did request it. I didn't realize that. I didn't think I'd be getting it, so I'm going to be working on that. And actually, the funny thing is I can't say what that is because there's actually two embargo dates for it. One is the review embargo date, the other is like a streaming date, which does happen. That does happen plenty of times. It was like, yeah, you're allowed to stream some at this, on this date, but you need to avoid certain things. So yeah, I got a key for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting into it. It's just, I need to take care of other things like the stream first, because I do consider this a priority. Because I do remember the last task I gave for myself in this was to better optimize the setup here for the storage systems. Well, for the things up there. So yeah, I will be getting into Valhalla soon, and I have a feeling though that because of how large that game is and how I tend to play games, even when reviewing, I am not gonna get the review out by the time it releases. It's just one of those, I spent over 100 hours going through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't remember how large Valhalla is supposed to be compared to that, but it's just, I try to do it. Yeah, so I am looking forward to that. I've long enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games. There are definitely some stinkers in the list, but I've long enjoyed it. So hopefully I will enjoy this one as well. We'll find out. Not too terribly much game news this week, which in a way is not too surprising because there was something big in hardware news. The release of, well, the general availability and also the review embargo ending for the Ryzen 5000 series. The 4th generation Zen 3 based Ryzen 5000 series. You have to love some of the naming at times. These are full. Whoops. God. That is actually one change that they made, where now there isn't a velocity check, a speed check when you're falling and trying to grab those things. Yeah, so this should then... Oh no, that's right. This one feeds the others. That's right. But it should be getting a good amount into it because of basic feed directly to it. I have not looked too closely at reviews for the new CPUs, but it looks like, yeah, that AMD has achieved the thing that they've been wanting to achieve for quite a while now, which is to take the gaming performance crap that they're now not just saying these are the best processors because marketing, but saying they are the best processors because it looks like they've actually managed that. I don't... Even if I had the money, I don't think I would upgrade, because it's like, the test system I think is fine with the 2700X in it. And I am just... Oh, wow, these things are... I am also just... I've said it before, I'll probably stick to Threadripper, because I would love to be able to just put as much as possible onto NVMe drives, M.2 NVMe drives, just so that's all on the motherboard and I don't need to worry about any cables. I would still keep hard drives around for storage, like for media storage and things like that. So the just normal Ryzen parts, because they have fewer PCIe. But even then, I'm still very happy with the system. 1950X has proven to be an amazing CPU. interesting, I think. I feel like there have been some leaks concerning the RX 6000 series performance, including some suggesting that ray tracing performance will only be in, and maybe I talked about this last week, but maybe it will only be in line with the 2080 Ti level of ray tracing performance, which, yeah, I'm sure I talked about that, because I also would have made the point about how, yeah, but we don't know about optimization for AMD's ASIC acceleration yet, so and we can't just blindly say that, oh, it's not going to be as good. It could end up being as good. It could end up being better. It depends on how it actually functions and how things take advantage of that. And speaking of optimization, one thing that was pretty neat, and I do kind of recommend looking at it just because it will give an idea of how certain things are done that are important in video games, but you might not really understand them, is Coffee Stain, the developers of this. They put out a dev video where one of their community managers was talking to a technical artist. And also they explained what a technical artist is. Basically, that's the person between the engineers that establish what, is possible, technologically speaking, in the game, and the artists who want things to be possible in the game. I guess that's one way to put it. But this guy not only would be figuring out how to achieve certain things so that artists can have the looks that they want, but also how to optimize. And it was pretty neat, like how, I don't remember if he said if it's already like that in the game or not. I just want to set this. So, because they used this as the example, not that, but you see how you got the moving parts there, and this one, if I hooked it up, would also be moving? Traditionally, you would do that with a skeleton mesh, where every part that moves is set up as something. Also true for the flow indicators here. That one's not really changing. But that movement, normally you'd have to do that as skeletal meshes, which is, like the characters and any of the monsters out there. Those have to be skeletal meshes, so they actually have skeletons, they have bones there that dictate how things move. And that is what you also move. You move the skeleton around underneath the object, everything's attached to the skeleton. But a better way to do that for optimization is, this is actually a static object. Or will be. I don't know if this... As I said, I just don't remember if they said that's how it is or how it will be. Like he's implementing that optimization. But this is actually a static object. But one of the layers to it has these pieces as different colors. And based on that coloring, a shader determines the movement. So... it won't hurt to do this. Although, actually, please. Okay. So the pistons that we can see moving up and down, those are actually being moved by a shader. They're not a skeletal mesh. They're not part of a skeletal mesh. They're just a different color, and based on what that color is, the shader's like, oh, I need to displace it this way. And there's all kinds of different variables they can control, like how fast they can go, how far out of the tube they can go. So I was just thinking, is it... That's not technically... I'm trying to remember what the housing piston is called. I should know. Anyway. Also how hard it hits, because he knows it's not just a smooth linear back and forth, but it's actually hitting and then it's kind of stopping. Because, it's slamming in there and then stops. And also if this were going faster, we would see this panel. Come on. Come on. There we go. This panel shifts out some because of the impact, but it's just this flow rate is so low over there because those are so capped. but it's all just based on a shader. That by having things different colors, and I would assume that these pumps work the same way. And he also showed that that is how the flow indicators work. So you see how it's pumping out like that. That's a shader is doing that instead of it being a skeletal mesh, which is much, much cheaper. But one thing that it reminded me of when seeing that video was that, oh yeah, and then we've got, in Crisis Remastered where it's just shaders quality. This is why I hate that name for a setting. Because it's like, there's so much that are shaders. This is shaders. Look, this movement, that movement, those are shaders. Shaders are also how, this reflects the light. I mean, shaders are so much that it's just absurd to me that you would ever name a setting something like that and have other settings. It's like, that covers practically everything. Anyway. But they also talk about other things, like having different designs. Like how part of the reason that the refineries are actually... Although it's a little weird I was talking about that, but the ladders here actually complicate these models a lot, and there's 1, 2, I think he said 3. Where's the third one? Maybe it's up high. Like you go up and then there's another ladder up. Yep, right here. So these 3 ladders do make it a little harder. What is it? Oh, that doesn't say anything. Sometimes the things say things. The stickers say stuff. So, that one's backwards. Apparently they mirrored it. I think if I can find it on here, there is a sticker that does say some... yeah, Packet Mark 1. Nothing that they showed was setting up imposters for the different things, so that's just, when you're further away. It's the level detail kind of stuff. With farther away you have a lower resolution thing. He was making new imposters for that. Which imposters make sense, but I just think of it so much as, after having seen the thing about the pyramidal parametrics, and that's MIP maps, that's like, to me, it's like, oh, well, yes, they are LOD levels, but they're also, like MIP map levels to my mind. And it's just because it's such a related concept, I just keep them related in my mind. But one thing you talked about, I think I'd need to go back. Talk about how the constructor is actually one of the things that is the worst right now. I don't know. Oh wait, no, the train is. Oh, it's coming though. If I go back to some of the other bases. But it was I'm just saying, it was an interesting video if you want to see how some of the stuff for optimization, what is possible with optimization. Or what are the possible ways to optimize. Very neat. And something else that he talked about was, currently the map is separated in different chunks, so just the chunks are loaded in instead of the entire map. They're apparently going to make the chunks smaller, so for people with less powerful systems it'll be easier to handle. But I could believe it would help other people as well, just based on how stuff streams in. Alright, what else? What else? I'm sure there is. Oh yeah, they were also they're also changing water to make it more realistic. I'm trying to think of something else. Something else from this movie. Did I? I don't remember. Did I talk about the 3D Mark thing? UL Benchmarks is has added a new feature test to 3D Mark that will be pure ray tracing performance. So Port Royale is actually a hybrid system. We do have traditional rendering in there and then ray tracing on top. This will be pure ray tracing, this feature test. in order to directly compare ray tracing performance between different GPUs. Will be interesting to see that. I am hoping I will be able to get myself a 6800 XT, and even though I don't have any GPU that compares to that directly, it's like it should be well ahead of the 2080 that I have, the original 2080 that I have. It's not a 2080 Super. It's an original 2080. So yeah, but it still is that's the closest comparison I can make. But it will be interesting to see just if there is, or well, yeah, that could actually be something I could do. I could try doing maybe. It is, like run it once and then just keep that data and see what happens in a few months. If there are updates to the feature tests, if there are updates to the drivers that improve the optimization, that can be fun to do. But that is, predicated on if I am able to get a 6800 XT, because they may sell out very fast. On the bright side, though, I did see a rumor that while yes, they are kind of predicting stock will be limited, which to be fair, everyone is going to predict that regardless. They could have, a million of them. It may, as opposed to like 10,000 to 100,000 that you might normally see for a launch. Anyway, they might have all that and just be like, yeah, we're still going to say it's limited. I would be tempted to do that just as far as we can't promise everyone's going to get one right away. But anyway, I think I have to go to get to a constructor. And I do need, I really should replumb this stuff. I should replumb that as well. I should replumb this entire thing except for that. That is actually fun. But one rumor that I saw, and I don't remember if it was so much a rumor as like a company actually did say it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will be completely true, but that we may see AIB version, Edinburgh partner versions of the AMD GPUs 1 to 2 weeks after launch, which I want to say is very unusual for AMD. Like previously, I want to say it was typically much longer. That for a while was the reference boards that were out, and then only later did the partner versions come. But that was also back when NVIDIA's stranglehold was much stronger. It is NVIDIA is weaker now, so in the stranglehold is weaker. I shouldn't say that they are weaker; they are not weaker. It's like there is enough interest in the AMD GPUs and such that more of the partners, are interested in getting good AIB boards out there. This. Yeah, the constructors are actually right down there. That little outcropping there. So depending, if I can't get a reference at launch, I'll be happy with the reference. I was happy with the Vega 64 reference quite a while before it died. I'd be willing to be like, maybe spend a little bit more and get a partner version. Yeah, it is funny how you can sometimes time it just right. They will just dead stop right there instead of carrying its momentum off going that way instead. Oh yeah, I also have constructors. So apparently these things are horrible because they've got planes here and here. This is a skeletal system, this is not a shader system, so it's like these are very complex objects. And the tech artist was saying that he hopes to he hopes that this is something that he will be able to work on at some point to really improve. But it's I can believe that he would have such a long list of things that he needs to do. I'm just saying that as a general, optimization work is never going to be finished for any game, except for abandoned game. curious. How are these doing? They're probably, yep, they're still looks like they're stalling. And I do not understand. I really do not understand why the one is produced just so much better than the because it's like literally these rates are the same. 5 out and 5 out. $10 and $60, so technically these are even cheaper, so these should be going faster. I do not know. I really do not know. And I don't want to redo all this, because I think that this is basically as good as I'll be able to get it. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting video. Now I'm just trying to think, what else was there? Dirt 5 release, which I did get a key and I did review it. I'm not sure when that review will go live. Hopefully it won't be too long. Just trying to think, what would be the easiest, quickest way to describe that? I mean, I did enjoy it, but it is different from Dirt 4. It really is. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me. Actually, no, I take that back. I will do it at the one over here. Another example of the using shaders for moving things is the hypertube entrances. Now I'm trying to remember, what was I just talking about before that? Before I got distracted as I saw it? Oh yeah, Dirt 5. Yeah, I did have fun, I did enjoy it, but it is different from Dirt 4. So I had to break that rule of I don't like comparing to other games in a written review, because you know, if you haven't played it, then you're kind of stuck. But I felt I had to, because there are just so many differences between them that I do feel that they have different targets. So this, see how it moves based on my approach? That is another one of those, that's shaders. Those actually all have different colors to them on that layer, and based on what the color is, the shader knows how it's supposed to displace them. If it's supposed to like turn this one that much, this one that much, because they are in different positions. It was also funny how he talked about, it's like how many people even noticed that. That's I noticed that. I've noticed that since they were there. But one thing that I have noticed it, but it's also it's a little weird, is how these go from green to red based on if they're, well, red to green based on if they're open or not and you're approaching. And I did kind of notice that, but it's also just a little weird because red is also like out of power in those systems. That's to an additional feed that, even though I have one over there, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oh, I think I did this not on a stream. So I set up all these. So basically I will never run out of concrete. Look at this. They still produce so, and this was after like only maybe 1 or 2 hours. Well, no, probably more like 2 or 3 hours, I think. They are producing so much. These refineries are producing so much concrete with the wet concrete. These are all filled. So let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 28 industrial storage containers. 28 times 8 by 6 times 100, just stack 134,400 things of concrete. And it's already full, so stuff is just being destroyed. And let me quickly. 80 parts per minute. Okay, so one of these, it would take 28 hours. Because I divided that 134,400 by 80 times 60, so parts per hour. I've got how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 28 divided by... Oh, okay, then it would have to be more than a few hours. It'd be 5.6 hours to fill all those up. Man, it certainly seemed like it was faster than that. But hey, I'm at... Ah, damn it, I just realized that they're doing that. Like, that is stopping. So I could actually put down more. Oh, God. Yeah, it would be nice if these... if you could hit it... And I've mentioned this before. If you could have it, like, constantly producing. Instead of it having to do it in bursts. You know, just to maybe ease the flow, the ingest here, but whatever. What else is there to talk about? Other stuff releasing this week. Chicken Police, I believe that released. Aria and Secret of Seasons is out on Stadia now, or at least it got a release date. I didn't actually closely at that one because I did not follow Stadia. I was like, I see it, say, oh, okay, that's interesting, but I don't really care about Stadia that much. Sorry if you think I should. You know, I have stuff. I need the high-speed connect. I need high-speed connect. Don't remember how you make those. Here. That's how. It's actually not that bad. I've got the stuff I need. How many do I need? $100. Fun. Actually, it's not bad. Alright, that. Oh, I actually need even more. Wow. There. And I think those go into supercomputers. Let me look. Yep. But it's just, to me, it's like not enough need supercomputers or turbo motors that I've spent the many hours to figure out all production for that. Alright, so 1500, these are in stacks of 100, so I need 15, that's 8 there, another 7. Of course, I could also, you know, look over the thing as it counts up. Oh no, circuit board's over there. That's there. And then I'll head over to grab the circuit. Yeah, that's, okay. I can remember it. I know I... Petroleum coke and something. Plastic? What was it, rubber? No, I also just realized I have some high-speed connectors. I don't think I made them before, but, come on. There we go. But I think I found some. when you go get hard drives, you find stuff around the crash pod. That's right. I just remember, there was another game that I saw. It's been delayed because of Cyberpunk. Because Path of Exile had its update delayed for that. There was another one. I can't remember what it is. It is interesting, the fact that you do have games that are such juggernauts in that regard, that it's like, no, we don't want to release near you. I mean, it makes total sense. I mean, trust me, I know that. I run into that with reviews, where it's like, oh, I've just, gotten a whole bunch of things to review. I need to prioritize which one I'm going to review first. Oh, these come in too. Alright. There. And I'm actually going to do something that I have not done before, but I specifically set it up so that, for this game and potentially others. But this game is the one that stood out. But just need to get back over there. And yeah, it should still. But yeah, because I have had that where it's like, I'm just trying to think, what's a good example? I know what's happened before, I just can't think what it is. But I guess an example would be, like, right now, if I got a key for a game, and I'm sad to say it like this, but it is still kind of true, like an indie game, even if it would be a very fun game, one I'd really enjoy and love to review and recommend, it's still, like, right now, well, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the bigger title. I would need to give that one priority. But for what it's worth, I keep track of the keys that I get specifically so that I can then go back and cover them later. It just might be much later. Alright, so what is this thing that I can do? That I'm just so I'm using the 1UP keyboard build I did with the W4 W4 switches, which I am really enjoying. I do want to say that. The one thing that I set up on this is KC lock. So on my gaming layer, if I hit right shift and then space, yep, that key is now locked down as though I were holding it, but my hands are up in the air. I've actually not really had the opportunity to put this to use, but it's just, I do like this. And the funny thing is, this is actually faster than using the manufacturer over there. Right now, though, I got parallel line, so it's worth doing it this way. But no, you were faster at building most anything than any device. Well, most any building. The one issue, though, is the refineries, because how do you have a liquid? Not you can't always make stuff with the fluid. I think there are some exceptions, I'm just not sure. Oh, and by the way, I can hit like any other key. So long as I don't hit spacebar, it'll keep going. I can even deactivate this layer if I want to. I just don't want to. But yeah, I like this. It's fun. Because it's just, you'll see people that, will somehow weight down their spacebar to do this. It's like, man, it's just a feature for me. There. So I got 40, is that it? There's 20 here, so I've already been twice as fast. And this thing is as overclocked as it can. There is no way to have it go first. But that's why I have that sitting there. It's just I can set it and forget it, basically. Yeah, the game is, if I do that, if I go over certain things, it does freak out a little. But so long as I don't mouse over things, what else has there been to talk about? Because I know there has been stuff. Oh, one thing I can talk about, going back to Dirt 5 for a little bit. And it is, I have it in the review because I need to contextualize certain things. So, and I share this as just something that people need to, because some people may not understand. It's like, well, no, it is important and worth understanding. So, I'm on the desktop. Normally, I prefer to play any game on my desktop because I'm more set up. It's like, I have the keyboard tray for one thing, the monitor is closer, all that, than using the test system. But with Dirt 5, it didn't want to launch on my desktop. Don't know why. I reported it, so the Codemasters knew, they were looking into it, but I had to review it on the test system, which is not too bad because I used the Steam controller anyway. But the point I'm getting at is, yeah, no, is that was pre-release build, and stuff happens in pre-release builds, and I made the note in the I kept getting wonky. And I made the point in the review where I talked about the issue that that I had full confidence that it would be fixed, that this would not be something that would be seen in release, and that has proven to be true. In fact, before the game released, got an update that fixed it so it would launch on the desktop. And it's just, I kind of feel like being in support of developers in that, yeah, sometimes there are bugs that sneak through, but they get them fixed and they want them fixed. And there was also there's also another graphical issue that I saw in that game. It's like, and I say it in the commentary while doing the playthrough, and I say it in the written review as well. It's like I don't even see it, because like, yeah, I see it, I know it's there, but it doesn't bother me because I know that's going to be fixed. I feel like sometimes, fortunately, I don't tend to pay too close of attention to many game communities anymore. I wonder why. But there have been times where it's like the smallest, dumbest, most unimportant bug slips through, and people lose their minds over it in the community. I've seen this happen. It is stupid. Because it's like, you have no idea about the actual serious bugs that that never went through. That never made it to release because they were caught and fixed. And I always want to just, be in support of developers by letting people know that's the reality. You found a bug. Congratulations. You're not finding the hundreds of others that other people found and reported and made sure will not interfere with your gameplay. Alright, how many... this is actually the one I'd rather have, so I need more mode. I also need to get rid of some stuff. Because this is kind of ridiculous how little room I have. There... oh, I'm done with that. There. I don't need that one. Do that too. I mean, even an early access game like this, it would go through QA passes to find any bugs. It's like, this is still a released title. It's just in early access. So, will there be bugs? Will there be incomplete design? Will there be design that will ultimately be changed because of community feedback? Yeah. And there's going to be more of it than a fully released title, but this is in a form that the developers are comfortable with the public getting and experiencing. Do I have any? I do. Perfect. And for somebody like me who is like, I may receive a key early, ahead of release. It's like I'm all reviewers that do that. It's like, well, you have to remember that this is pre-release and stuff. You may see stuff that it's not actually going to be real in the future. That it will be fixed. Which also kind of reminds me, I have yet to replay Shadow of the Tomb Raider since I reviewed it. That is on my list of games that I do want to replay for more than one reason. But one thing that I do remember is I saw some people notice, people who did play it early and then replay it later, or just people telling them about it. And very, very weird. You wouldn't really expect it. I don't know if this will. I can just by having another one. Nope. Okay. But the ending between the pre-release version that reviewers got and the release apparently changed. I remember seeing stuff about that. And I'm just like, what? I do still remember some of the warnings about. I mean, it's a story-based game, and you see that every now and then, where it's like, yeah, we rather, certain things not be shown or not be talked about, to protect against spoilers. Completely fair and legitimate. But it was still funny. And I do remember one was, for that one, they didn't want anything from Croft Manor to be seen. And you have certain flashbacks in the game that go to Croft Manor, so initially when I first found that, I remember thinking, oh, this is what they're talking about probably. But then the ending itself is also set at Croft Manor. And it's like, well, that's something that changed. I don't know if that was they knew it was changing and that's why the warning was there, or if the warning was there because of the other stuff. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But just, the whole point that things do change, and you need to recognize that, especially when you play something early. But even when it is released, it's like, yeah, that bug you found, there's a decent chance it's already known about, but considered minor compared to other bugs. Or it's just, not really that big a deal to begin with. It's hard to say, though. I mean, yes, there can be showstoppers, like, oh, that can definitely happen. It's just not so common. Also reminds me, with Borderlands 2, I think it was, how there were the corrupted badass ranks. So the saves were fine. It was the badass ranks that were getting corrupted. And I think some people figured out that it was like 2% of all players across PC and consoles that were impacted by this, but there was still some people that lost their mind. And it's like, badass system in that game so thoroughly underwhelms me. It does nothing to make me be like, oh yeah, I really want this and it's such a loss to not have it. It's like, no. I remember turning that on and off, and it's like, I can take one more bullet from an enemy, and I can kill an enemy with one less bullet. I don't see this as important. At some point I will play Borderlands 3 and see how they changed it there, but it's... yeah. Just turned off the game layer, the review layer that I have set up on this keyboard, because I need to be able to take screenshots to save replay buffers, start and stop OCAT, start and stop recordings, and then I also just set it up with the KC lock thing that I used earlier, which it's like trying to hit Alt F9 is not the easiest when you also have to hold down another button to get to F9. That's the button I use. Yeah, that's the one for starting and stopping recording. So like Alt F10 though, or F12 for screenshots. F12 is screenshots, Alt F12 is for the I crushed 500. Replay buffer is Alt F10. It's much easier having that on one button instead of having to go through different motions to activate all the keys I need. Oh, I didn't... Wait. Oh, that lacks collision. Not a big deal. But it still is just funny, because I was really expecting to just land on that, and then it's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Alright, and now I will get the other one going. What is this? Super. How many do I have? Because I know I've found some. I have 29. Oh, and I had 31 of... And I had... It's just how much time could I have saved? How many do I need? 50. So I just 21. Oh, not that. That's actually not that bad at all. So I need 32 high-speed connectors. And that will be enough. So I will just go around to grab all that I need. First I'm gonna dump stuff in here so that I have the space. There. That. Wow, I just happen to have 42. Speed connectors. You know, actually put that back. Because when I'm going, I'm going to be more up. There. Wait, I thought I do have circuit boards over here, I just didn't grab them. There. Oh, and I have 17 computers in. I'm gonna... The stack is... So it's gonna even that out over here. Computers are usually enough that, you know, just having a supply on you isn't a bad idea. Like the... having modular frame. I have... No. I like working exact. Need AI limiter. Fewer now. And those I actually did have. I just completely blanked that those were there and so. So the connectors I need to make in the plastic and computers I just get over there. So I will grab all that and then I'll stop and just let the lock do the work for me while I take care of some other thing. Let me also... Okay. It's like I see I have an email and it's like, okay, that's fine. Where is it? Like, did I just get another thing I need to work on? No, I didn't. So I'm crossing, what, 40 minutes? Is that what that means? Oh no, 50 minutes, wow. Yeah, this is going a little longer than I wanted it to, but especially since I have the review to work on, but it's It's been a weird week for me, and I'm kind of tired. Also, don't think I've been sleeping all that well. At least the weather's nice, so I get to have a window open. Oh, I can check that. Alright. Just got the email as well about the Humble Monthly games. That's actually not too bad looking at them for this next set. November's games include Darksiders 3, which that is definitely a good game. It was tough, but it felt a lot fairer than some games that feel very Dark Souls inspired. I'm just going to take that up to the 80. Because I'm going to need them. Alright, that's everything I need. Heading back, what are the others? It says here? Darksiders 3, Yakuza, Kiwami 2, Computer, Rome Deluxe Edition, Crying Suns, and more. Let's see. Dark Ember? No, Darksburg. I said that the yes. I wasn't sure if that was an name. Little Misfortune, Smile for Me, Dark Word, Psyche, Rover Mechanic Simulator, Houndsman. I can't quite read what the subtitle is on the town. And Europa. Actually, it's a little tough. I have some of those games. Like the big one of Darksiders 3. Oh look, maybe I will get it. Because I don't think I have Dark Word, but I actually am somewhat interested. Yeah, I don't have. Alright, so pop up here, then I can stop this recording and get stuff going so I can upload it and all that. And then have it go live for me tomorrow, because time travel. Remember, I record these on Fridays, since I don't trust my internet. Alright. Actually, save. And should see you next time. Goodbye now.